Before we start programming the individual LEDs in the 5x5 matrix, the 25 LEDs, let's take a look at how the microbit identifies them. Each one of them has two values, an X value and a Y value. Starting in the upper left-hand corner, the X values run from 0, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And the Y values go up and down, starting with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we want to turn on that LED, which is now on, in the upper left-hand corner, we would issue some kind of block known as plot. And we want to plot the X value, which in this case equals 0, along with the Y value, which equals 0. So that command, or that block, plot X equals 0 and Y equals 0, would turn on this LED. Now if we want to turn on the LED in the middle, this one here, which is on, we would once again issue the plot command, or the plot block. This time, the X value equals, let's see, 0, oh no, starts here, 0, 1, 2. And the Y value, up and down, is 0, 1, 2. So to turn on this LED, we would plot X2, Y2. And each one of these has a different X and Y value. To turn them off, we'd probably unplot them. But let's go over into the Microbit app itself and take a look at programming them. Okay, here we are. Let's just try that simple plotting thing at first. We won't need the forever loop. But let's use two input blocks. Let's use input A, my favorite, and probably input B. Remember, we have to change that to B. What we want to do is turn on the LED in the upper left-hand corner. Fortunately, all the LED commands, at least the ones we're working with so far, occur in the LED group. And there it is, plot, X and Y. Well, let's bring this down in here. It's already set up for us, plot X0 and Y0. So if we press the A button, it's already activated. There it goes. How about the B button? Well, let's just copy this plot thing by holding down, duplicating, and bringing it over here. Remember, the X this time is 2. Notice the little slider. That makes this almost easier than grabbing the keyboard. That means it goes 0, 1, 2 on the X-axis. And let's turn this one. Come on. 0, 1, 2 on the Y-axis. So now if we press the B button, the one in the middle comes on. Press the A button again, up the bottom. Now if we press the B button again, not much exciting happens because it's already on. But it is possible to press both A and B, and we'll get a simulated A and B for us. Click on this and choose A plus B. Gives us another button to actually show up down there. When A and B are both on, we want to turn all the LEDs off. Sorry, when A and B are both pressed, we want to turn all the LEDs off. Well, we could unplot twice. In other words, we bring this down once and unplot 0, 0. And then one more time, unplot 0, 0. No, we want that to be 2. And this to be 2. Okay? So we can turn Let the simulator warm up. Press A, press B, and on button A and B, they both go off. Plot and unplot. So far, so good. Let's have a little more fun with our 25 LEDs. Let's make the LED in the center blink on and off. But this time, let's have it blink on and off while we are pressing the A button. That's a little different. We're going to have to put that inside a loop. So let's grab a loop. Oh no, let's use logic instead. Let's use if-then. That might even be more fun. In other words, if something is true, and what do we want to have be true? Well, we want to have the A button is pressed. See it down there, 4? The A button is pressed. Let's bring this out and put it in there. In other words, if the A button is pressed, we want to have this stuff occur. We want to have the LED blink, the one at 0, 2, or let's go with 2, 2. It might even be more fun because I did say the center. And then unblink. Now that process is taken care of inside the LED block, and it's known as toggle. Toggle simply means whatever the state of the LED was, on or off, we will turn it to the opposite. So if it's on, it goes off. If it's off, it goes on. That sounds like a blink to me. So if button A is pressed, toggle the LED at, and we said we wanted to use 2, 2, the one in the middle. So I just select that and change it to 2, 2. Probably want a little bit of a pause there so we can see it. So let's go back to basic, choose pause. We'll start with 1,000, see if that works. However, that block is not going to do anything by itself. It's just going to sit there and wait for some logic to take place. So we're going to have to put it inside some kind of loop that goes on forever. How about that? So we'll bring forever out and put this inside there. So now what we see is forever, if button A is pressed, then we will toggle on to pause, then loop back again if it's pressed because it says forever, and do it again and again and again. Let's see if it works. The simulator has been fired up. We'll press A. Well, that looks like a little blink to me. I'm holding down the A button, and it's blinking merrily away. And once again, if I'd like to see it blink a little bit longer than that, I can just choose 500. We'll start up the simulator. There it goes. Press, and you notice it's blinking on and off. Forever. We don't need the on button A anymore, and we don't need on button B because we've checked it with logic. If the A button is pressed, then toggle those. Now, if we just quickly tap the A button, it doesn't go through that loop, doesn't go through that decision, doesn't do that over and over again. No matter what else we do, we press the A, we press the B. If we press it quickly, it toggles off, but we have to hold it down. That's what I'm doing to see it to blink, to get it to blink. Let's do something even more fun with the B button. Same idea, we'll need this if statement, so let's duplicate that. Bring it down here. If the B button is pressed, notice I select that, the B button is pressed, we don't want to toggle. What we'd like to do is see a whole row of LEDs toggle on and off. Now that is going to require either some logic or a whole bunch of statements. Let's try the statement route first. In other words, if the B button is pressed, we'll toggle on 0. Let's bring it down to the second row. Now we could keep it at the first. So the y-axis will also be 0. Across the top it's going to go. We toggle on the 0, 0. Pause for, let's make these go a little bit faster. Pause for 100 microseconds. Then we have to duplicate this one and the pause. Sometimes this duplicate thing doesn't work as well as I'd like to see it work. So we're going to toggle on this time right underneath here. X is still going to be, no, X is going to change to 1. And Y is still going to be 0. So we'll see one go on, then the other go on. By the way, we don't need this inside here, so I'm going to bring this out. I was a little quick to put the B button inside the A button logic. Works better like that. Let's go over as far as at least 3. Duplicate that. And this is going to be, X is going to be 2 this time. And Y will stay as 1. So let's bring that one up there. Well, that might be enough just to see if we're doing this right. The simulator has started. Press and hold the A button. Works just like we thought. That's the first if loop up top. I shouldn't really call that a loop. It's a if logic. And we press the B button. And this time it moves across, see? It toggles on, then off, then on, then off. And it moves across. First it's the X0, then X1, then X2. Let's make it go all the way across. So I'm going to hold this down, duplicate it. We want X this time to be 3. Y stays the same. And maybe the same amount of pause. Duplicate it, bring that up. Bring this up in here. So now we've got it going at 0, at 1, at 2, at 3, always Y the same, and one more. Just bring that up a little bit. Hold that down, duplicate it. Hold this down, duplicate it. And the only thing we have to change here is this number 3. That wants to be 4. And we bring this up here. So now we should see forever the A button being pressed causes a blink because it just toggles on and off. The B button is pressed, goes right across. It's sometimes called chasing. The LED goes on and then it goes off because it's toggling. Wherever it was before, it changes to the opposite state. So as you can see, we can do quite a few things with 25 LEDs. There's a lot more to go, but that's probably good enough for part 2 of 25 LEDs. We'll see more in the future. Bye for now.